Hey y'all, we're back. Danielle is one of my friends that I met on Instagram. So, what we're going to do today is just ask her a couple questions. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty with it. We're going to be real raw with it. We're going to go ahead and just see how she was able to, come to where she is now and how she was able to come to where she is now, which is through Christ. So, Danny, I'm going to go ahead and start with my first question here.
Okay.
And so, with this question, I definitely want you to be very transparent with me, okay? And this is just opening us up together. So, just have a realistic conversation with me here, okay? Now, just looking back, would you say you had a relationship with God, or did you mostly know about Him through your family and church?
Let's see. I feel like it was half and half. So I grew up in the church. I grew up Pentecostal. And so growing up as I call it a GPK because my grandfather was a pastor. Um, I knew of God and I knew, how real he was, but I didn't have like a personal relationship with him. I was going through the motions. So that's usually like church every Sunday, Bible class, praise dance growing up, church conventions. That was my whole childhood. Church camp every summer. And it wasn't until my first interaction, I think I was probably about 15 when I first had like an encounter with God. Like, okay, like, oh, he's real. Because sometimes growing up in the church, and I grew up real churchy, you know, skirts to the floor, we couldn't wear glossy, we was going to hell, okay?
The religion.
And so, growing up and experiencing church on the other side of seeing how people treated my grandfather and they treated my grandmother sometimes would make me go the opposite way from God. Because in my eyes, how do you love God and treat his people like that? So I kind of was always in and out, in and out, in and out. But my first encounter was when I was 15.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay, so what I do want to ask, okay, because we definitely had conversations, before just even meeting here today to even share with everyone in the room, everyone that's going to be looking at the video. So I definitely just kind of want to reiterate on it. Definitely stop me if you want to. But Danny, I want to know more about. You told me that you were into addiction. You told me that you were into stripping. There was other things too that aligned with it too, with just going down that road to destruction. I'm so amazed because God intervened the way that He did. However, that was, which I want you to share, definitely, but He definitely did that to save you from going down that path. And of course, we all still have work to do, improvement, our journey. Of course, it's never done. It's never done until we leave this earth. So in this case, what I want to ask you is, could you just describe that a little bit more, just like how that was for you as far as with feelings, emotions, just going through that particular setting there, being in those settings with those people that influence you too, because you did mention that too as well. So just open up a little bit about that.
So okay, so, ooh.
Put you on the spot, huh?
Yeah, so with going through addiction, that was something that I never thought I would ever go down, right? Because I seen my uncles go through it. We dealt with it. Ooh, I didn't think I was gonna cry.
It's okay. Napkin, please.
Okay. Okay. As a mom of two, I never wanted that. I always had dreams and goals, and there was things that in my life I was very, driven. Modeling at a young age, corporate America. But then when I got laid off last year in July, the bills had to get paid. And when it comes to my babies, it's by any means necessary. And so a close friend of mine, she was just like, come bartend at the club. So I said, okay. So I went and bartended, and then I was just like, of course, just the interaction and things like that. They were like, we're having, a night, you should come and dance and sing. So I was like, okay. Growing up in the church, and I was just like, I don't know about it, but the bills gotta get paid.
So it's like you had a little bit of conviction, but then it was just like,
I gotta eat.
So you were pretty much in the battle of that there. Okay, I get it. All right.
So I started dancing, and the first night it was different. And I've always been kind of like a party girl, so it was just it was uncomfortable in the beginning because of course you're in a world where it's one thing when you're at the club and you're having a good time with your friends, but it's another thing when you have men touching you.
And you're working there.
And you're working. And then it was things that I was exposed to that I never knew was in that world. And as far as getting addicted to drugs, my friend, she introduced me to cocaine. And I didn't know the first introduction that I was being introduced into. It was kind of like unknowingly.
Right.
And then I started having these cravings of, man, like, I want to try it. And I kept saying it, like, I want to try it. I want to try it. And I remember it kind of shocked me because she was like, oh, I got it. And I just kind of was sitting there like, okay. And so, we indulged. And then it started to become, well, I'm going to just do it every time I dance. So I can take the edge off.
So it helped you to do that.
It did. And then I would drink. And then, I already kind of smoked for years a little bit. So it was just kind of that. But then it started to become, oh, I'm just going to do it to dance, to, oh, I need it. And I'm waking up. And
that's the first thing.
That's the first thing. And then it started to become where I was so dependent on it that I even wasn't around my kids. Okay. And sometimes it was hard because, again, addiction isn't something that you can say, okay, I'm gonna stop,
or get rid of it 2.5.
No, you can't. You can't wake up and be like, that. But I always knew that I had a calling on my life, and I knew sometimes when I would be high, my friends would make fun of me because I would always pull out my Bible. And I would be like, yo, they be like, Danielle, are you over here in the corner reading? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why. I'm like, I just need to read before we go outside just to make sure that we're good, and they would laugh and they would joke and they would be like, here go Danny again. Here she go. But for me, that was my foundation.
Right.
I grew up in the church. That's all I knew. And I always knew that God was calling me to be greater. But like I said, I just hated how church people were. And growing up and seeing it, I'm just like, I don't want to be like these people. I have a good heart. I don't want to be tainted by that. And so when you don't have a relationship with God, you don't know how things affect you until you're in an atmosphere of God, am I supposed to be here? I know
That
I need to, I know I need to survive. I know I need to get out here. My baby's got to eat.
Yeah.
But am I supposed to be here? And there were times where going through the addiction and being a dancer, it started to taint my spirit. So bubbly, I'm so happy. I'm always talking to people. I'm a hugger. But when you're in that world, you don't know that so many people are fighting demons. And I'm a hugger. And every time I would hug somebody,
you felt it.
I felt it. And I didn't understand why I was so depressed after a while.
And it's jumping on you.
And now further. Now I'm depressed and I'm waking up like, okay, well, why am I depressed?
Right.
And now I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to just go with how I used to do. I'm going to just go drink and do my drugs and we're going to go on about our day. And I was normal. Nobody knew about it.
Right.
You know, I still, but then I started to lose weight. People started to notice. So I went from being 180 pounds to, by the time my overdose came, I was 110 pounds. And it bothered me because it was just like, people would say stuff like, oh, girl, you losing weight. And I was in health and fitness. And so for me, that was my reputation. It was who I was. And so it's like now I'm lying, saying like, oh, y'all, I'm just working out. I'm just stressed. That's all it is. But it just pushed me. Just covering it up. And so May 9th, right before Mother's Day, I was just tired. I was just tired. My family was going. And I'm emotional today too because my grandpa passed away on this day last year. So excuse me, y'all. But him passing away, my aunt and my uncle passing away right before then, and then I was just going through of trying to find who I was again. Through all the motions.
All at once. That's the thing. And it hit different.
Yeah. So I remember getting into an argument with one of my close friends, and I was just like, I'm tired. I'm ready to go. And I remember sitting in a hotel room, and the day before Mother's Day, I said, my kids will be okay.
She's gonna have me cry, y'all.
Sorry, y'all.
God is with you and for you. You need to go back to that Bible every time before you even exit out the door. Your worth is so beyond what you even know that it is, okay? That's the thing. Because God is saving you. For them kids.
For my kids.
Them kids that you say, I'm going to go do this job to make sure I feed them. For them kids that you say, I'm going to go do this and I might, be in this a little bit. Baby, let the snot come out. Y'all don't see it today. But it's just like, really, to be honest, it's like you had the concept, you're like, I'm trying to be there for my kids. Then you got to the point that, this point, I'm just tired. My kids will be okay. But here's the thing. You sitting right here on this couch with me today. So let's talk about how you made it to here now. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so the overdose happened that day. I say it was a blessing, and I really say that it was God that led me to where I was.
Right.
So it happened. I did my drugs, and I did so much drugs that when I got to the hospital, they said, I don't understand how you're walking in here. But I remember walking and I passed out in front of the hotel. And a couple, I remember them waking me up saying, hey, stay awake. The ambulance is here. So when the ambulance got there, they came in, gave me the Narcan. And then they started asking me questions. And so then I was like, can I get some water? And I remember standing up and walking, and they were just confused. I'm
Like, how you even walk?
yeah.
Wow.
Like, are you okay? Or and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was just like, I just kind of just in and out. They ended up releasing me, and I begged them. I said, y'all, if y'all don't send me somewhere, I'm gonna do it. And so they sent me to, I went to a mental hospital, and I say it was God that whole time I was there. I was there for 10 days, and I remember my first day. I sat there and I was crying, and I said, God, I'm tired.
It's surrendering.
I left everything. I lost my job. I lost every piece of clothing I had. Everything. That day I lost everything. But I said that day, I remember telling the nurse, I was high as all get out. I said, I surrender all. I'm okay. And I'm gonna be okay. My kids are gonna be okay. My future's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna be healthy. And I remember every single day, I would get up every morning and I would say, God, if you get me out of this, please, I won't be sober. I won't do it again. I won't go back to that life. Today is 82 days.
Baby, because I sure was about to ask. Come on, yeah! 2 days. Give a hand clap up in here.
Sober, clean. I've gained weight. I gained my weight back.
Yes. Because I heard you say that little spin. Gained the
I gained my
weight
weight back. I feel good. I'm healthy.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Thank you, Jesus.
And I just say that my relationship with God it's been amazing.
Yes.
It's been so amazing. I never really knew how real he was until just
To have him even go through that.
yeah, it was just the confirmation, just all of that, and knowing that. And it's so crazy because I always say it's a blessing to have a praying grandmother.
Amen.
It's nothing like that. Because I remember when my godmom and my Gigi, my grandma, she came and she said, I wrote you a letter in 2023. And I said, okay, Gigi, okay. And when I got out of the hospital, I would journal every day. Okay. But I would pick up my Bible and I would write the scriptures that I was reading. The letter that my grandmother gave me was all of the scriptures I had been writing. It was in 2023, and it was saying that, you know, I know just God is just so amazing.
Come on.
Because
Come on.
when you do drugs, especially coke, you don't sleep. So I would be up for days. I'm a dreamer.
Okay.
When I close my eyes, God talks to me in my dreams.
Okay.
So God started telling me the devil is trying to get you to go to sleep. I would be up for days. I'm talking about 4 or 5 days at a time. Working.
Just keep me
6
in that
a.m.
movement.
Yeah, I'm talking about
I ain't
I'm gonna
going
work
to
at 6 p.m. I'm up to 6 a.m. every single day. I'm not taking naps. I'm not going to sleep. Every time I would try to go to sleep, I couldn't go to sleep. Because you know the truth just gets you. And then I started realizing like, oh, okay. And then when God was talking to me, he said the devil don't want you to know what I plan, what I'm trying to talk to you about. So that's why he's attacking your sleep. And so the drugs were just a way to keep me awake so that I wouldn't
So you want to go to sleep? Yeah. So you want to hear the message?
I wouldn't hear the message. I wouldn't hear it. So I always just say, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. Do I regret the overdose? I do. It's something that I'm going through and dealing with. But I say that I'm grateful for it. Because had I not had that happen that day, I would have been so far gone.
That part, just like the devil was wanting you to do as far as with being on that path, to continuing to go down that path. Keep continuing to hang around those places, those people, that influence and things like that. He wanted to keep you in that mode so then that way he can be done. Wipe his hands clean. Oh, that's another one. And that's the way that he looks at us. And it's like, God, our Redeemer, our Savior, he comes through the way he does, and can't nobody stop what he does when he does, and not even the devil. And so that's the thing. So he's going to intervene the way that he does. And when we're not listening, sometimes it is going to come on us extra hard. Extra hard. Almost you lying on your deathbed for you to say, I'm done. And if that's the way he got to get you, then he will get you there. But know this. He the one that's saving you. So he is the Father over all things. So it's like, he gonna whoop your tail until you get it right. Right, mama? Okay. That's what I'm saying. He gonna whoop you until you get it right. I know it for me. Just with other stuff too, But in this case, you are following obedience now. You are doing what you're supposed to do now. And I just really wanted you just to open up how you were to now. Because in this case here, like I told you, like I mentioned to some of y'all already, I didn't know her from a can of paint. Just followed her on Instagram. Like she said, met her through a hairstylist. That was it. She posts little stuff. I liked it. I post stuff. She liked it. That was it. God just led me. Once I seen, how she was moving, I said, oh, look at her, girl. So, do a little congratulations here and there. And God said, now. I said, okay. Hey, girl, you want to be on? She say, like you say how God works. She say, God is wanting me to do things like this and start opening up and tell about myself. And that's what she was saying. So when God is in the midst of it, because he going to lead you right to it. And what I'm telling you, Danny, is that even if you don't join today, even if you join later down the line, just know that here at TCC, you have a support system. You have sisters that's going to keep encouraging you to stay on the track. What? 82 days of what? That's what I'm saying. That's a beautiful thing. And we're going to be there at 100 days. Can't wait till you to get there. And it's going to be even more. So that's the thing. Be transparent like you are. Beautiful that you even sitting here alive here today with me on this couch. And them babies got their mama that's coming home to them. Okay? So I want y'all to give another hand clap. And I want to end it here with this of just stating that I love how God just moves how he want to move things. Because, of course, we had a whole different plan on how it was supposed to go. Mm-hmm. But, baby, when he come through and he break it down and it's just flowing how he wanted to flow, let it flow. So, we're going to conclude it today. This is what we got today. But I do want y'all to make sure that you be on the lookout for Danielle's interview with Vogue magazine in Dallas. Right. Also, too, Danny is into interior design, so she has her little interior design business that she's trying to get up and ranking here. So y'all make sure to check that out. And where do we follow you on regarding that?
So on all social media platforms, I am the Danielle Nicole _. And then as far as my interior design, it's Rain 29. So you just have to spell 20 out and then the number 9. And so, yeah.
It's been beautiful. Give me a hug.